Astro presents Astro 101. Today, we're talking about dasha, your life in chapters. Have you ever looked back on a stretch of your life and thought that was a whole season? Like the years right after college, or the year you became a parent, or the long quiet phase when nothing seemed to move and then suddenly everything did. We tend to remember life that way, in chapters, in long arcs that have a flavor, a temperature, a personality of their own. Vedic astrology has a name for that. It's called dasha. A dasha is a planetary period. The idea is simple. At any given time in your life, one planet is the silent director of your story. Other planets are in the cast, but one is running the rehearsal. It decides which themes get the spotlight and which sit quietly in the wings. When the dasha changes, the whole feel of life changes too. The lighting, the music, the cast. There are 9 planetary dasha in the Vinchotri system, the most common in Vedic astrology. Each one has a fixed length. Saturn rules for 19 years, Venus for 20, Sun for 6, Moon for 10. Together, they cover 120 years, the natural span of a full life. When you were born, the sky decided which dasha you started in. From there, the chapters unfold in a fixed order. So you might have spent your childhood in Mercury dasha, then moved into Ketu dasha in your 20s, then Venus in your 40s. Each one feels different because each planet teaches different lessons. A Saturn chapter asks for patience. It builds slowly. There's often hard work and a feeling of weight, but the things you build during it tend to last. A Jupiter chapter is more generous. Doors open, teachers appear, you feel held. A Venus chapter is sweeter, full of beauty and relationships and art and comfort. Mars brings energy and edge. The moon brings emotion and family. Each one has its own grammar. My grandmother used to say that some years felt like the kitchen during a wedding, full of noise and warmth and 100 things at once. And other years felt like the kitchen at 4 in the morning, quiet and dark and waiting. She didn't know the word dasha, but she was describing it. The cosmic clock changing tone. Here's the practical part. If you can name your current dasha, you can stop fighting it. So much of our suffering comes from expecting a Saturn year to feel like a Jupiter year, or expecting a Venus chapter to require Mars level effort. When you know which planet is directing this season of your life, you can match your effort to the weather. You can rest when the chapter calls for rest, build when it calls for building, and trust that the next chapter is always coming. If you want to see which dasha you're in right now, you can pull up a free Vedic chart at Astro. It takes a minute, and you'll see your current dasha right there at the top. I'll see you next time.